There's no question that the shooting at Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia that killed 4 people was a senseless tragedy. But as details come out, there are still things that are unclear. Both the alleged shooter, 14-year-old student Colt Gray, and his father, Colin Gray, were questioned at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office in May 2023. The FBI had received tips about someone threatening to commit a school shooting in messages posted on Discord, and the trail led them to Colt. But there wasn't enough evidence to arrest the teen at the time. Law enforcement sources contended to CBS News that months later, in December 2023, Colin purchased his son an AR-style assault rifle.
He allegedly bought that gun used in the shooting as a Christmas present for his son.
That style of gun will be familiar to anyone who has kept up with school shootings over the past few decades, including those at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, and Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. It is definitely worth asking why Colin would give his son such a gift after being questioned for allegedly threatening a school shooting. Both Colt and Colin have been charged in connection with the September 4th, 2024 shooting. Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey said Colin was arrested for
These charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon.
Both state and federal law require firearm buyers to be 18 or older. Georgia law does not, however, set a minimum age to possess a rifle. According to a CNN report, an unknown caller phoned the school the morning of the shooting, claiming there would be 5 school shootings that day, and Apalachee would be the first target. The GBI has said evidence doesn't yet support this claim, but did not rule out the possibility. The agency noted in a press release update on the case, there is no evidence of a list of schools being targeted. However, there is a lot of evidence that is being recovered and evaluated. Investigators are diligently reviewing leads to determine if there are any active threats. The Bureau did, however, acknowledge a call made to another nearby school that morning, stating, "There was a call to another local high school this morning with a reported threat. Police responded, investigated, and determined there was no threat." Police investigated the threat at the other school, but did they respond to the call to Apalachee if there was one? Students reportedly headed to class as usual, and no reports, as of the making of this video, suggest precautionary measures were taken that morning. Law enforcement told the Washington Post that a security system installed around the week prior did help save lives, enabling staff to alert people on campus of the active shooter. According to USA Today, the GBI claimed the Barrow County Sheriff's Office was notified of an active shooter at 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time, and law enforcement officials arrived minutes later. Thus far, little is known about Colt's school life and whether officials were concerned about it. One of his classmates said Colt was quiet and didn't attend class often.
He never really talked. He was pretty quiet. He wasn't there most times. Either he just didn't come to school or he just would skip class.
According to the Georgia Department of Education, a student is considered truant if they have, quote, more than 5 days of unexcused absences during the calendar school year. It's unclear if Colt was deemed a truant, and if he was, what, if anything, was done about it. It's also unclear if school officials were aware that their student was questioned in 2023. Colt might have been bullied, too, leading to more questions. The Daily Beast noted that when his father was interviewed by the FBI in 2023, he said his son was getting picked on. He said that's the reason he often went to Colt's middle school, adding, "Because you never really know, and I don't want anything to happen to him." Collins said Colt was tormented as a member of the golf team, being ridiculed day after day. Colt Gray may have been experiencing mental health issues, though it's unknown what the nature of these purported issues was or if he received any help. His aunt, Annie Brown, told the Washington Post that he was, quote, begging for mental health treatment for months before the shooting. Brown also said she told relatives she was concerned about Colt owning a gun. At some point, Colt's grandmother reportedly went to an Apalachee High School counselor to get help for him. A week before the shooting, she called Annie and said he was due to start therapy the next day. Along with questions about guns, mental health is also often a topic that comes up after a mass shooting. Dr. Raghi Girgis, Associate Professor of Clinical Psychiatry at Columbia University's Department of Psychiatry, said in 2022 that mental illness alone can't be to blame. Understand that mental illness as the primary cause of any mass murder, especially mass shooting, is uncommon. Colt's Aunt Annie placed the blame on those closest to him, telling the Post the adults around him failed him. It's often impossible to know for sure what a shooter's motives are because they're often killed to end their heinous acts. Suspected shooter Colt Gray is alive and in custody, but we may still never know for sure what motivated his alleged crimes. Colt seemed to have a troubled life. According to the New York Times, he grew up in a combative home environment. His mother had a methamphetamine addiction, and his parents often fought. His mother once even threatened to kill Colt and herself. There have also been reports of financial hardships within the family, and FBI audio revealed Colin was angry with his son.
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you, if that is what was said.
Colt may also have been intrigued by previous school shootings. The Times reported that authorities found evidence suggesting the student had an interest in the attack in Parkland. CNN also reported that the Discord account that posted the threats about which Colt was questioned referenced Sandy Hook. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.